Jennifer, the sentencing aspect, and Tammy, you raised some really good points about the forgiveness part. And so the sentencing aspect and knowing that maybe more victims will testify, maybe the same victims will testify, we don't know. But how important is it to the process, in your perspective as an attorney and someone who's been involved with prosecutions, for the sentencing phase to happen, even though we already have a no mercy recommendation from the jury?
Well, I think that's a really important part of the process for these families, the families of the victim especially, and that this is their one opportunity to really address the court. Now, obviously, in this case, we've got a little different perspective in the sense that the victim's mother here has had an opportunity to address the jury, but she hasn't had a chance to fully address the court as to the impact of this on her. I do think it's unusual, going back to Tammy's point, that we know the outcome of the sentencing hearing already, and that we're going to kick this down the road to October. If we were here in South Carolina, that sentencing would have been, bring him around, we're going to do this right now. I sentence you to the rest of, prison, the South Carolina Department of Corrections for the rest of your natural life. And we wouldn't have a pre-sentence report here, but that's South Carolina. And like we've noted, all these states are different. I do want to go back to one thing about the victim's mom here, is that I noted, also taking some notes, that she did not ask them to not give him mercy. So it's interesting to me, the defendant's family very explicitly asked for mercy, was encouraged to make that request by defense counsel, and the prosecutor kept saying, is there anything else you want to say to the jury? Is there anything else you want to say to the jury? And she declined that opportunity multiple times to say, I'm asking you not to give mercy in this case. I'm never going to have my child back. I'm never going to put my arms around his neck. All the things she could have said, and she didn't. So I wonder how those conversations went and what she would say to the judge now that we will hear in October.
Oh, gosh, Jennifer, that's a really good point. I did note how she ended her testimony was he loved all of his neighbors. I did note that she did choose to comment on the fact that he loved the elderly. He would help bring in groceries and do things for them. And she said more than once he loved all his neighbors, which I thought was interesting. So, Tammy, as a federal executive clemency attorney, and I hope that I got all of that right. If not, you're going to correct me. But I can't, how do I underscore that, the forgiveness part? How frequently or infrequently, depending on your opinion based on your experience, do you really see the true forgiveness and mercy and grace that we hope for in these circumstances?
Yes, so yes, you did have it right, federal executive clemency, and that is the proper terminology we hear at presidential pardons. I'm an expert at the federal level, so it's not something that you see frequently because it is an extraordinary grant of forgiveness once someone has shown acceptance of responsibility and they have shown that they have atoned for their offense conduct. And typically it's not someone who has violence in their background or, that's like a ringleader of any types of huge criminal enterprise. It's typically a first-time, low-level, nonviolent offender that is worthy of the forgiveness that comes with clemency. And as we know, individuals that are currently incarcerated could be released early, have their fines or restitutions reduced or removed in full, or if an individual has already been released from imprisonment, they are eligible for the restoration of their rights. And each state, on the state level, they would seek clemency from the state's governor, as opposed to a federal conviction where the clemency would go towards the president. But in this case, even at the state level, in my opinion, it would be extremely rare, just given the fact that there is clearly violence, as he was convicted of first-degree murder.
I am so appreciative of your expertise and that you are with us today to share it with us, because it's so important in all of these cases. Part of what I love is the education around these live trials. So, ladies, you're going to stay with me. Thank you for that. We are going to take a break. We will come back and we will continue our live trial coverage here on Court TV, your front row seat to justice.
Attention. Medicare recipients are entitled to save money and get significant new benefits at no additional cost.
Hi folks, Joe Namath here, and if you're on Medicare, this is important. You're now entitled to eliminate co-pays and get dental care, dentures, eyeglasses, prescription coverage, in-home aids, unlimited transportation, and home-delivered meals, all at no additional cost. Plus, your zip code may have coverage with the Give Back benefit that adds money back to your Social Security check every month. Look, with the uncertainty of the virus and vaccines, you need to get everything you're entitled to. Here's the bottom line. Call to get significant benefits at no